In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a quick 30-second commercial using Adobe Premiere Rush. The first thing will be the sample video that we're going to make. Alright, so the first thing that you'll need to do to make your project is obviously to gather some videos and some music. If you go to Pixabay, you can go over here and look at their videos. You can search for whatever subject that you're looking for, and then when you find something that you want, just click on it and make sure that you have a Pixabay account so that you can download videos, and make sure that you download this at 1920 by 1080. And then you'll say download. So get yourself at least 3 or 4 video clips to start this project out with. And then also you'll want to go to music and you can download some music. So you can click this button here to actually play and preview the different sounds that they have. Okay, and then when you want something, you can just click download and it'll download an MP3. So put all these things that you make into a folder called commercial bin. All right, because a bin is basically everything that you're going to use. It's like a folder for making your videos. Then the other thing I need to tell you how to do is if you're preparing any logos or photos or graphics, if you go into Photoshop, if you go File, New, make sure that you click on Film and Video and you click on the 1920 by 1080 for the HD video and say Create, and then you'll have this right size file if you want to have a logo with a transparent background. Obviously you'll copy that in and then delete the background layer. That's what I have here. I copied my logo from the adventure travel brochure and put it on a layer. I also have one on a white background because I need that for the end of my video. It fades to a white background, and so I wanted to have that white because the default background in video is black. Alright, so prepare all your graphics in Photoshop, put everything in a folder, and then you'll be ready to open up Premiere Rush and build your video. Just click on Create New, and I'm going to open up the folder that has my adventure travel video bin. And I'm going to click on the very first video, which I'm going to have this skiing one. You can go ahead and click on all of them now if you want to, if you know what order they're coming in. But I'm going to show you, I'm just going to click on one of them for now so that I can show you how to import them separately. So we say Create. Alright, and you see that it puts your video into a timeline. If you want to zoom in or out, if you press the plus and minus keys on your keyboard, you can do that. I like to kind of keep my things zoomed out while I'm building and only zoom in when I'm editing a certain spot. So I see on this video here there is sound. So if I zoom into that, you see those little bumpy lines. That means it has a soundtrack. I don't want any sound on my video because I'm going to have music. So the first thing I want to do is go to Clip, Separate Audio. And then you can see it put my audio track on a separate clip, and then I'm going to click on that. Whenever anything is orange, that means it's selected, and press delete. So now I have a perfectly quiet video. All right, and I want this video to be slower. My commercial is only going to be 30 seconds, so I want this intro to be shorter. If I want to clip the clip, you can just click on it and drag to make it start or stop in a different spot. Or if you want to speed it up, you can, I'll show you how to do that. What I want to do though is the way this video is playing right now is it starts off really slow. It's actually slow-mo the whole time, but I want it to only be slow when the snow is spraying out right here. Okay, so I'm going to go right there before it stops, or right before the snow starts coming out, and I'm going to split that clip right there. So if I press S, you see now it made it 2 different videos. So I want this one to be really fast. So I'm going to go over here to the time and I am going to speed this way up so that that part happens a lot quicker. And let's see what we have here now. So this, by the way, is called scrubbing. When you're going back and forward in a video, it's called scrubbing. And this blue line here is kind of like a cursor is when you're doing graphic software. So let's play this. All right, so he comes in fast and then it goes slow. So that's perfect. That's what I want to do. Now I want to add another clip onto the to fade into the next one. All right, I'm ready to add some more clips to my commercial here. So I'm going to click this plus thing to add media. Click on your media, and it's opening the folder that I had used last. I'm going to go in my travel bin, and I'm going to choose this kayak video and the mountain climbing video, and go ahead and add those two. And obviously, let's see, let me do the minus to zoom out. This is a little bit too long. I don't want this kayak video to be so long. So I'm going to click on it and make it shorter. I may change the time later, but for now that's what I want to do. And so in my video, I have a plan of what, okay, so it added those two videos in between where I split that. So I definitely want to drag these over here. There we go. So now I have that beginning clip, and then it goes into my snow blast, into the kayaking of them. I'm going to move the snowboarding thing to be at the end. So I'm going to click and drag, whoops, click on this clip and drag it to the end. I want my video to end with that snowboard blasting snow like that. So I need to add another video to the front of this. So I'm going to go in this folder. I know I have another skiing video right here. And click on that one and say add. And I want that to be at the beginning of my video. Obviously, I want this to be a lot faster. So I'm going to go up here where the speed is and speed that up. All right, so you'll notice my video, what I want it to end on is 30 seconds. So you see that 30 seconds mark. So I need to have a little bit of time at the very end for my logo to be there. So I am going to go to add media and go back to this folder, and I want my logo with the white background to be added in there. All right, and let's see, make it last a little bit longer. I'm going to move it so that it ends, well, I want everything to end right at 30, so I need to go in actually and make all these other clips a little bit longer so that I fill up a little bit more time. That one was already played at 100. Maybe I will lengthen the clip or make this go a little bit slower so it goes to 30. All right, so now you can see I have my time used up to about 30. So I'll probably edit the times a little bit on these. All right, at the very beginning, I also want to have my logo on top of this video. So I'm going to click on that one and say add. And it's going to add it in the timeline with the others, but I'm going to pull it up and drag it, and I want it to be on top of everything else, and I want it to last the whole time that that video clip of the skiing is on. All right, so you can see that I want this to fade in. So that's called a transition, when you want your video to fade in or out or swipe up or down. Those are called transitions. So if you go over here where that little lightning bolt is, click on that, and dissolve means you kind of want it to fade in. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to put a dissolve at the very beginning. I can go ahead and press the plus to zoom in a little bit. I'd like mine to be about a second is pretty good. And I also want the logo to have a dissolve too. So I'm going to go over here and click on dissolve. You can try different transitions. You don't always have to use dissolves. There's other ones here about sliding in and out. Those are kind of cool as well. All right, so the next thing I want to do is to add some text in here. I want to have like a title that says kayaking, climbing on the climbing video, and snowboarding on the snowboarding video. And then at the end, I want to have like a little tagline or something like that. So I'm going to go ahead and click at the beginning of my kayaking video, And to add text on there, you just click this text here, or it's a graphics button. It's kind of slow on my computer because I'm screen recording. All right, so we have graphics, and we want to go over here to add a graphic, and it gives you titles, transition graphics, overlays, different things you can put on here. I'm going to go with the titles, so I'm going to click on more, and these are just a bunch of presets that they give you that you can add on top of your video. I just want some basic text on there. Maybe, I think I'll try this one here. That looks kind of cool. So I'm going to click that, and you can just click add, and it'll put it right where you have your little scrub bar thing. And I want it to happen after the transition, so I'm lining it up right after there. And I want it to last until the next transition. Now to edit the text, I just need to click kind of in the middle of where it's going to be, and it'll show up here, and then you can just double click inside of it. It should let me edit it. Okay, so I don't want that word title there, so I'm just going to delete that right there. I just want to edit the word slash to say kayaking, and I really don't want that shadow on there. So let's see. All right, that looks good. If I want to change the font, you can change the font style and the color and everything like that right there. And I want to go over here and drop that in right there. And I want it to line up with the transitions. So I'm just going to drag those endpoints and type the word. Whoops. Come back. Try that again. Click in there, and then double click inside the text, and I'm going to put the word climbing. I'm going to get rid of the word title, delete that, go back to the climbing. I don't want the shadow. I'm going to leave the size like it is, and then one more. I'm going to drag that and put it right here. And I'm going to have this one end a little bit sooner. Maybe I should pull that out here and title it get rid of the word title, go back in snowboard, get rid of the shadow. All right, so one thing I'm not super crazy about, I can see already, is I have this kayaking is lasting a long time and climbing is medium and then snowboard is quick. So I'm going to go ahead and just come back in here and just make that kayaking clip a little bit shorter. I'm going to end the title at the where the transition starts. Now you can see that kayaking and climbing are pretty similar length. I just need to make my snowboarding a little bit longer. So I'm going to go to that clip where the first clip where it's going a little bit faster. I'm going to go back to the transition and just change the speed out so that I'm still ending my video on 30, but I have a little bit more time to display the snowboarding clip. All right, it probably should be done a little bit more too. Let me go ahead and we want these three things to be even. So I'm going to close that up a little bit and close up this title. Climbing and kayaking are about the same, and once again I'm going to go to my snowboarding clip and I'm going to extend it out so it's a little bit lasts a little bit longer. All right, so those are a little bit more even now. And then the final thing I want to do is on this slide here I want to have like a tagline. So I'm going to go pick a different text thing that just has something at the bottom. Let's see, where's that one that I had before? There is one that works good for just having it at the bottom. This one right here will work fine. So I'm going to click on this one and say add. Give it a minute to render, then go over here and I'll say adventure. Whoops. For some reason it gave me a copy. First of all, let me go ahead and change the color of that. So let's go up to the graphics panel and open up this folder. Oops. Open up this folder, and I want the text color to be red. So let's choose red for my text color. I don't really want a shadow on it, and I want a different font. All right. Now let me retype that. Okay, and then I want this video to end at 30 seconds, remember, so I'm going to have this shorten up. I think I'll leave it playing just a little bit longer than the video, or the logo does. And I want the logo to fade out, so let's go back to the transitions and put another dissolve on the end of that. That way it kind of fades out and it leaves the website and the little tagline just for a little bit longer. All right, and that automatically fades out because that transition was built in to the text. All right, so on the next part, I'll show you how to add your soundtrack, and then we'll export the video. So the last thing we want to do before we export it is to add some music to it. So I downloaded an MP3 track from Pixabay, and you're going to add it just like you add anything else, just like your video clips. Go over here, add media, go find your file. I have this MP3 right here. By the way, if you import an MP3 and it sounds all glitchy and weird, what I noticed you can do is just rename your MP3 to something else and like quit Premiere Rush and restart it, and it comes back fine. I had that problem when I was first making this video. All right, so you can see I have the audio track in here. By the way, if you want to expand the audio to do any like fine tuning, you can click this button over here on the left, expand audio, like if you're trying to stop things on certain parts of the track. So I want to end my music obviously right here where the rest of my video ends. So I'm going to zoom out with the minus key and pull this all the way here. So I could end it like that. Obviously I would want to make it fade, otherwise the sound would just stop all of a sudden. And you can do the same thing that you do in video, is you just press put a dissolve transition on it. But one thing I see here is I have this quiet space at the beginning. I don't want that, so I'm going to click on the end of it. I want my sound to start right away. So I'm going to scoot that over here, and then I'm going to pull back this audio and have it end at the same time as my text, and I'm just going to put a dissolve right there at the end of it, and I want it to fade, you know, more subtle, not to be super quick fade. So I'm going to click on that. You can also change the duration of a transition up here too, so I can make it longer by dragging that bar. That way the sound will just gradually get quieter. All right, let me try to do a playback in here and see if it works. All right, so that worked pretty good. And the way you export it when you're done, you can click this share up here at the top, and you can name it whatever you want. I'm going to save mine to my desktop, adventure travel, choose, and go to advanced settings. Make sure that you're on your 1080 resolution. You don't really need to mess with the frame rate or any of that, but if you did, that's where that would be. And then you go to the bottom right where it says export, and that will save an MP4 of your video. All right, so when you're done with that, just put that in your Google Drive and give me a link to it in your portfolio so I can grade it.